All right, let's get down to business. So I watched one of a classic comedies with my boyfriend the other day. It's called Coneheads. It was created in 1993. However, the original skit originated on SNL in 1977. It's about these aliens that crash land on Earth and they have to assimilate into like humankind while their phone home occurs. Like the people home try to get them back to Clagnon or whatever. Like, I don't necessarily remember all the words that they use because they all sound made up. But the best thing about this movie is the fact that they think of things that you wouldn't think of to make an alien race. And I thought that was really clever. It stars none other than Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin, the original Coneheads from the SNL skit. They did, however, change the daughter twice on SNL. Connie Conehead is played by Michelle Burke in the movie. However, I've never seen her in anything else. If I do, I don't remember. The only thing that I know for a fact where she was in or had something to do with was Diagnosed Murder, which was a TV show that I never watched, and Tales from the Crypt, which is a TV show that I did watch, but I don't remember her in. Every other part of her filmography is very foreign to me. I have no idea where she came from, but she is a good actress in this movie. What I will say about the SNL skits, they're not as funny as the movie. Like, if you just watch the skits on SNL, you probably might not want to watch the movie, but the movie is far funnier and they take far more graces. And there are some hidden details that they actually did. When I watched back and watched the SNL skits, because I didn't watch the SNL skits first, they legitimately have some callbacks that they do in the movie and they're funnier. Like, I don't even know what they were doing on SNL. It's kind of boring. A long time ago. However, the movie is far from boring, like I said. And it's got tons of comedians, from Sinbad to Adam Sandler to David Spade. There's just tons. Jason Alexander. If you're like into Seinfeld, you'll like this movie, even though has nothing to do with Seinfeld. It's just got those people in it. Chris Farley is in this movie. It's just very fun, all around fun. I really liked this comedy. This is just a quick bit. I'm not going to go into deep detail about this movie because I really want you to watch it. Just know that it's old. It's gonna look old. It's very dated. It's gonna look dated. There's gonna be some things that look crazy, but I do believe it is funny enough for you to overlook it and watch it anyway. If you're interested, it is on Pluto for free. I don't know any other places where it was for free because that's where I watched it. Basically, they assimilate into the world and they keep getting job after job. And the funniest thing is that everybody is just like acting like they're normal, right? But what their storyline is that they're from France. And that is something that came from the SNL skit too. But like, they act like French people are just so like out there that anything they say, like just say for instance, they lay an egg. They're like, oh, we do that in France. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, that's like the craziest thing. And they ultimately have a child on Earth. And the cool thing about them having a kid on Earth is the fact that she's earthanized. So even though she's a Conehead, she doesn't have connection to her home planet like the parents do because they were born there. And that's just a very interesting, like, Coneheads does that trope better than most movies that are trying to do that today. And all while they're trying to live and coexist in this world, everybody's acting like they're normal. It's very funny. It's very comical. There's a situation where you could say it's not comical because there is a part of the movie that is very tone deaf, I would say. But I think that's the whole skit of it all. I really do think this was intentional. There's a man that works with David Spade as basically Border Patrol. And he likes to send quote unquote illegal aliens back to their country. And then when he figures out that these people are straight up aliens from outer space, he doesn't care. Like I said, the people, they're like muggle situation. It's like a muggle syndrome. They act like these people are normal. They act like their heads are normal. When people talk about their heads, or when people bring attention to that they're aliens, everybody makes it seem like it's a big deal. Like, why are you being mean to them? Like, it's hilarious. It's pretty funny. But this guy who is Border Patrol legitimately is the villain of the story. And I wish he would have had a more gruesome death, or death at all, because we don't ever see him die. For all we know, he does, but we don't see him die. But he's basically the villain chasing after them. And like, before he even knows that they're straight up aliens from outer space, he's trying to deport them from America. Like, that's his shtick. That's his shtick. And that's the whole conflict of the movie. Because like I said, no one else cares that they're aliens. They literally look at sideways butt crack or whatever, and they don't care. It's like these aliens have so many things. And even when the mother is giving birth, like, she has crazy stuff happening, and the doctors just treat her like a normal person. And that's fine. Like, that's fine. Like I said, this is very hilarious. It's a very funny movie. I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. Like, it's so good. And it's got a lot of comedians in this movie. Like I said, Adam Sandler's in this movie. He's not really my favorite actor. There's like two movies max that I'm willing to watch. I may very well make videos about those 2 movies. But what did you think? If you've seen Coneheads, did you like Coneheads? Was it funny to you? Did you think it was offensive? I personally thought it was funny. I can understand where the offense could arise, because like I said, this guy is literally Border Patrol. And it's interesting how we have not made an ounce of progress when it comes to xenophobia in America, in our government. This man is legitimately talking about killing people on the border, and that is legitimately what people are trying to do. 2023. This movie came out in 1993. Just let that sit with you. Let that sit with you a little bit. That's a little gross, don't you think? We should all do better as people. But this movie is really good. Please pay no attention to the low ratings. Honestly, I really do find it enjoyable, and I recommend it. Like I said, 8 out of 10. Like I said, it's not for everyone. If you're not into that raunchness, you might not like it. But it is very wholesome. It's very wholesome. It's got a wholesome ending. I would say there are certain things that might be a little strange. There's innuendos, but there's not much, I would say, that I wouldn't be like I saw Coneheads when I was a child. There are some things that I would say aren't for children, but it's not that big of a deal. A lot of the innuendos went over my head. And now that I'm an adult, I can actually acknowledge them and appreciate them, because they're really funny. But yeah, that's it today. I hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe, like, share, I don't know when I will be playing Resident Evil 0 again, because like I said, it's very difficult. I may need assistance. I may need the help of people watching me on stream. If you're willing to help me on stream, check out my stream on Twitch, the Princess of Darkness _ between all those words. I also have a TikTok, the Dragon. So check that out, because I have a lot of videos on there. I keep it up to date. I'm very active on TikTok. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little quick bit. It's really small, really small. Like I said, I'm not going to go into deep detail. I'm just going to warn you that it has a immigration storyline that may be offensive to some people, because it's really happening. And they kind of make it a joke in the end, even though it's something very serious. Above all, I would say there is some sexual situation. But like I said, innuendos went over my head as a kid. I had no idea what they were talking about. Didn't understand it. Now that I'm an adult, I understand it. But yeah, I'm done. I am done.